more and more allegations against a Medical Lake police officer, and yet he's still on the force.
Tonight, another victim shares her story.
Usually it was a comment about, I work well with handcuffs, how about you?
Another woman has stepped forward to claim a Medical Lake police officer sexually harassed her.
The emergency room worker says Sergeant Joe Marins made his repeated and unwelcome advances while he was on duty last year. Tonight, in a story you will see only on KXLY4, our Jeff Humphrey talked with a woman who's taken her allegations to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
And this lady has waited until now to come forward because she felt her encounters with Joe Marins were isolated incidents. Like so many alleged victims, she didn't think anyone would take her word over a police officer's.
Police officers routinely visit emergency rooms taking statements from crime and crash victims. However, this Deaconess Medical Center worker says Sergeant Joe Marins wasn't in her hospital checking on patients. He was there checking her out.
Usually it was a comment about how I looked in my uniform pants, or a lot of times it had to do with handcuffs.
The alleged comments from a complete stranger came as a shock to this woman who doesn't want to be identified. What concerned her more as the sex talk gradually turned to touching.
It started with him touching my hand at one point when my hand was on a counter, and then at one point he did massage my shoulders when I stiffened up and walked away. I left the department at that point.
Today, Medical Lake officials released new documents that show Joe Marins has been suspended without pay at least twice for touching and trying to kiss other women while on duty. Alleged victims say because of Marins' gun, badge, and uniform, they felt unable to defend themselves.
It's hard to say anything to someone in uniform. You couldn't slap their face if you're offended. It puts you in an awkward position, especially in your place of employment, you can't make a scene there. He thinks he's above the law. The things that he's doing, he could potentially arrest someone else for.
And this woman knows what type of crimes can trigger an arrest because she is the wife of a Spokane sheriff's deputy. She says the moment that Marins made the matrimonial connection, he walked out of the door of the hospital and never came back. Medical Lake officials have now turned up the heat on the sergeant, saying in a letter of reprimand that Marins is one strike away from immediate termination. Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.